What's going on? Hutheads, Joe the Hut from Joebba's Palace. Whoa. Here with another What's in the Box video. So we have a couple figures that we're going to take a look at tonight. We're going to open them up before we ship them out to people. So thank you for anybody that comes to our Whatnot streams and grabs stuff from us. I very much appreciate that. We are live streaming on Whatnot right now. And then we break out these videos to YouTube when people allow us to do unboxing videos and reviews of their figures before we ship them to them. So thank you for anybody that allows us to do that. Thank you for anybody who grabs stuff from us in general, but special thanks to people that allow us to do this because it lets us get a little extra content in the stream and a little more entertaining stuff going on. So remember, this is at Joebba's Palace across everything, across Whatnot, across Instagram, across YouTube. We have a Facebook group. All those fine places are places that you can connect with us. If you're looking for any figures at the moment in our Whatnot store, we have around 600 figures available. So feel free to stop by and check out a stream. Check out our eBay. It's all at Joebba's Palace everywhere. Any website you go to, just type that in and you should be able to find us. Feel free to shoot me a DM if there's specific things you're after and try to put a bundle together. We always do better bundles on multiples. Anyway, so let's get to the unboxing stream, part of the stream. So the first figure that we're going to take a look at tonight is a much anticipated figure because we haven't had this character in a while. He was previously released in a Man-Thing wave, as far as the Hasbro Legends. And it's going to be Blade. So just in time for spooky season, we have the Marvel Legends Blade. This is the box. I will say this box is insane that Amazon sent to me. The outer box was completely fine. This is the state that this was sent to me in. So I don't believe that there's any issues with the figure inside. So that should be fine. We'll find out on the review. And yeah, luckily somebody didn't care about the box and wanted, yeah, minty, very minty box we got going on here. He also has a ton of accessories. So you know what? Let me get a bag so we don't lose track of those. 1 second. Give me 5 seconds to grab myself that. Nothing like not being prepared for the review that you were preparing for. I have some special comparisons, Avi. Avi is saying in the chat, for those that can't see, this Blade versus the Headless Horseman from Four Horsemen would be insane on a display. I have some comparisons in that ilk that we can take a look at for sure. All right, so let's get Blade opened up. We have our bags now for accessories, so we don't lose track of any accessories. So basically, we had one person that grabbed the Blade from us, and then someone else wanted the Build-A-Figure piece, so we kind of split it up, and they bought them separately. As always, when it comes to Marvel Legends that come with Build-A-Figure pieces, if you want a figure without the Build-A-Figure piece, I will always entertain that and give you a discount for that. And then we have a whole bin of Build-A-Figure pieces available. So if anybody's after Build-A-Figure pieces, let me know that as well. All right, let's open this up. Enough. No more foreplay. Can we even get it out of here with the state this box is in? We got to like pop it open. Also very exciting because we haven't had the opportunity to open a legend like this in a while. So let's take a look at the way. It's not really a good experience when the thing won't rip open because of the state the box is in, but let's just keep working our way out of here. Maybe we'll just go for the tray. I'm just going to go for the tray. Bam, tray. Tray. So there's a little thing flopping around in there. We don't really care about that. That's your box. Throw that in the trash where it belongs. All right, so here he is on the tray. Let's get him out of the tray. First, we'll do accessories. Well, first, we'll take a look at this Build-A-Figure piece. How about we do that? So this is the Mindless One Build-A-Figure piece. Is there tape here? Oh, popped right out. Okay. So this is a look at your Mindless One Build-A-Figure piece. Let's get a little more light on it so you guys can see the true color. So it's a very, very dark. I mean, I guess I would say dark gray to black. There's some brown in there. If you can see that there's like kind of some brown in there. So there is a little bit of a texture to this. There's the eyes. We can peg that piece in. There's some ridging in the head, so pretty good detail there. So they definitely put a decent amount of effort into this piece. And then there's your peg. Let's get the effect piece over here. Just the effect piece. Pretty big effect piece. You can see in scale with the figure, it's like up to Blade's, just below Blade's shoulder, so it's a pretty big piece. All right, so now how does this peg in? Okay, so there's a little. They really need to do something like. I mean, they've done something like this with Cyclops, but I feel like we can maybe apply this technology a little bit better to him. So you can see there's that little indent right there in the piece, and that's where we're going to be able to peg that in. So I guess we'll go this way. No, I would say this way is the way to go. Pop it in. And then that's that. So it's like you just fired something off. I think we could probably go opposite direction maybe too. It's pretty secure in there once you do it. No, it's really only going to go that one way, I think. So maybe there's another piece to do a different direction, but there he is, like he just fired off. I don't even know what this guy's power is, so. Yeah, definitely. So there you go. If they want to do a big Build-A-Figure Cyclops and use this guy's head, they can. For no reason. All right, now let's get over to Blade. He has a lot of accessories, so let's work our way through these. So at least we got decent accessories on this figure and in this wave, I think, in general. All right, so first we got the hands and the stakes. So he comes stock with two fisted hands. Hashtag get fisted. And then he's got this grabby hand. Come on. There we go. This is always fun to get the. There we go. Grabby hand. And then it's the same thing on the other side. So you get two fisteds, two grabbies. And then you get two stakes. I'll just show you one of them. There we go. So it definitely has that wooden look to it, which is good. They did a pretty good job of executing the fact that it looks like wood. There's a little bit of a mold mark there, but pretty good looking. Pretty good looking. All right, and then we have, I don't know, what do you guys think that these are? They're blades, clearly. Well, let's go to the sword first. Here's this sword. I would assume that this is very similar to the hand ninja sword. I don't know if it's different. That would have been a good comparison, actually. There you go. I mean, I could maybe go with something a little bit brighter. It does catch the light a little bit. And then there's the handle. The handle looks pretty good. There's a little bit of a missing paint on the side there. Usually his hand is going to block that. There's the bottom. So decent sword. It's a decent size sword. So that's good. All right, and then we have these blade, stabby McBlade things, I'm going to call them. Because I don't know what they're supposed to be. Which are also slightly complicated to get out. Let me just get the tape off of here. Jesus. They really secured these accessories on here, guys, so. There we go. There we go. All right, so it comes with 2 of these. Different paint for what? Come on. My focus is like so off tonight. For the hand ninja, I would need to look at the hand ninja sword. I'm not that. I don't remember. Yeah, this is a Gillette stubble eraser. So that's pretty cool. You could throw this on him, and then you can throw these in his hand. You could have him throwing them, stabbing stuff. So a decent amount of accessories. So you're getting 2 you get 1 sword, 2 of these stabby McStab things, and then 2 what are they called? I lost the name. Steaks. Salisbury steak day. All right. Kick his legs out. Get over to the figure. Get his arms out. Now he has a cape, so actually his cape is not. His jacket is not pulled through the thing, so that's good. All right, so he pops right out of there. Gray color plastic as opposed to painted gray. Yeah, they're probably molded, and then they I would assume that these are molded, and then they painted the red part. It has a very glossy texture to it. Wow, Sipes, they didn't get you your tickets yet, or did you buy them late? They also put a little piece here to secure his legs, I guess because of the jacket. All right. Now here is Blade. StubHub, I gotcha. All right, so there he is. Loving the little flat top head right there. Flat top head looks really nice. His hairline looks decent. There's not too many paint issues there, it doesn't seem like. Here's the side of his head. He's got his cool little I don't even know what you call that version of a haircut. It kind of looks like he's wearing a fez when you look at him from behind. What are those funky hats? Take a look at the jacket. The jacket, ooh, this is pretty cool. The jacket has like kind of like a pattern that goes up. Now, I would say that they probably made a black jacket and then painted this inside red. So you would say that's like, oh, why didn't they paint back here? But I think that looks pretty cool like that, the way it like kind of fades out back into black. Like that's a nice little look to that. It's got buttons. Either that or it was a red jacket and they painted it black. But I feel like there's so much black on here that it's probably a black jacket and they painted it red. Here's his chest armor. That looks pretty cool. He has pins in his arms. So that's one thing. The sword holster, is the sword holster removable? Maybe you might be able to get it out there. If it was my figure, I would definitely put a little more effort into that. But since I'm going to be sending this out to somebody, I don't really want to. I think it might be glued in there. Or maybe because the jacket is there, it adds a little extra. All right, now let's look at some of the patterning on his legs. It's got cool little pockets over here. Knee pads with little ridges on them. The boots look really nice. The boots seem well executed. I like the look of that. The fact that you could see the shoestrings and everything. Here's the back. Has cool patterning on his sword holster. Sheath. There's also, no, this is not attached. So this is not attached here, but it's clearly going into the peg in his back, but I don't know if they ended up gluing it or it's just because it has the jacket here. But like I said, I don't want to put too much effort into pulling it off in case I end up breaking it. because it is not my figure anymore. Let's take a look back here. What do we got? Ooh, blade butt. That's what the back of the figure looks like. And yeah, I like the look of the head sculpt. I think the teeth are well executed. His gums and the inside of his mouth are different colors, but it's a little bit darker, so I guess that kind of makes sense. And there you go. All right, so for the arms, this was the one thing that I think that people were complaining about, is that you can't get his arms all the way down because of the jacket. So like, see that there's not much space here to push his arms down. So like the way he's sitting like this, that's like, you're not going to get his arms in much further than that. Like I'm applying a decent amount of pressure and I'm not going to be able to get them in there. So he's always going to have that look to him when you do that. And then let's get the arms up. Yeah, the jacket definitely hinders his articulation up and down this way. All right, and we'll take a look at the elbow. Elbow, we got to get that extra joint first. Not that one, this one. Hold the joint. There we go. So there's your elbow right there. He's got a swivel here. He's got his wrists, a spin, and all that. To the chest, he has this upper chest cut, which is not, it's not really hindered going forward by the jacket at all. Going back, you can get it, but it's just going to push it back forward. So not too much with the lean back. His waist does have a waist. It's just a straight spin. It doesn't have like an angle to it at all. We didn't do the head. Here's the head looking up. Head looking down. And there's, obviously it's a blow joint, so there's a little rotation to it. All right, so now we'll get down to his legs and do the splits. The splits are not going all the way down. Not going all the way down. So there's something blocking that. Needs a little more room there. Here's his upper leg cut right there. Do the knees. Knees are easy. Sorry, get that out of the way. Knees are pretty easy. He can't kick himself back, but he could do, like, that looks cool. You could definitely get him like in a jumping drop down pose like that. Like already that looks pretty cool right there. There's a boot cut right here. And then obviously we got the boots and the pivot over there. So there's your review of the articulation on that. All right, let's take a look at getting some accessories on him. So obviously we can put the sword in the sheath back here. Let's line that up and slide it in. Little looser than I would want it to be. Let's see, if I push him upside down and hit it. Oh, I guess it's not going anywhere. Heat and cool the coat into different positions. Yeah, always heating is always a good option for people. Let's swap out these hands because I don't really need these fisted hands for anything right now. Let's get his grabby hands out here. Yeah, you guys should do a joebbaspalace meetup. Even though I'm not going to be there. We'll see. Look, that came out. So there's something about that's sort of a little bit loose in there. All right. Get his sword back in the sheath. All right, let's get him with a steak. Salisbury steak day. Again, I'm like up here with the steak. The wrist back. Motherfucker! Motherfucker! And then we got this other guy. So there's him with his Blady McBlades and his and a steak. All right, let's get these out of here. Don't need that extra steak. No, we put the Blady McBlade away. We don't need that combination of two with those. All right, let's try to get him in a cool pose now. Let's see. We got him up here. We got him that fending something off. Can we do a walking pose? Back. I think we could probably use this cape to our benefit to get him a little more stable. Oop, no, wanted it, but it didn't happen. There's like slightly wider, just basic pose there. I should have done a flight stand for this. Let's get him with the sword, at least. See, now I do wish that I had a way to holster some of these other weapons. Like, give me a little whoop here to put a stake in, or like something on his jacket. You know, like take a little inspiration from what G.I. Joe Classified is doing and give me the ability to do these things. All right, now I feel like this might be a little bit of a chore because of the way this jacket works. Get him in the two-handed sword pose. That's what we're after here. Hold on. It's going to take some efforting. Oof, this is going to be a tough one. All right. Which it shouldn't be. First time holding a sword much? It's in the peg in the back, and I think that I just didn't want to pull it too much. Because it's not mine. Like, it doesn't rotate. No, it rotates a little bit. I just didn't want to do too much with it. Am I saying it, or is it a bandolier? Is that what we're going with? Yeah, like, this takes a lot of effort to try to get him. I don't know. Obviously, you need a little bit more time with the figure to really figure it out, and he needs to be heated. You're going to have to heat this figure up big time to get what you want out of him. His hands are also slightly too small. Like, this is right out of the package, and they seem a little small in that they're not gripping that sword as much as I would want them to. So as far as his arm articulation is definitely hindering us a lot here. Yeah, there's a peg, like it's pegged into the back through the jacket, but it might be glued in there. I'm sure that there's a way to remove it, but like I said, it's not mine, so maybe if I go lower, I guess if I went lower on his body and rotated this a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like using the sword is a little awkward right now. Did they have as much trouble doing a two-handed sword pose as I am in the other review you watched? All right, let's go back to the steak. Salisbury steak thing. And we'll do our comparisons. You're saying just take the jacket off. Yeah, I guess you could take the jacket off. I mean, it'll slide right out there. But it would look weird because these are jacketed arms. So then you're doing. I mean, I guess you could call that like an undershirt if you wanted to. All right, let's get him in that other pose because, quite frankly, I like the way that one looked better with him just using the stake. And then having this guy here. And I think he holds these a little bit better. Plus, I mean, we've seen him with the swords like a million times, so not too worried about that. All right, now I want to do some comparisons and maybe set up a cool little mini display. Looks like he's got. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks more like an undershirt. Yeah, under the vest. That's true. All right, so the first comparison we're gonna do is this is the MCU Daredevil with a comic head on it, just so you can kind of see what those look like next to each other. So Matt is a little bit taller. But those look pretty cool next to each other, right? Just armored up, ready to fight some whatever comes bump in the night. So there's your Daredevil. And then here's the real treat, because this is what I want to see. Because there's another line of figures that has done vampires what I think the best. I think they've done vampires the best. There we go. So I want to see him fight some fucking vampires. So I'm going to put some Mythic Legions in here. So this is Baron Volgar from Mythic Legions. You could show him next to Blade. Because this is the type of vampire that he would be trying to hunt down. He's going for the Baron. So obviously he's a lot shorter. It is a different action figure line. Have him fight the vampires from What We Do in the Shadows. But I mean, I think, I'm expecting vampires to be a little bit bigger. I mean, Blade is half vampire. Once again, you just need to get your like setup going correctly so that he's maybe like a little bit closer or something. I don't know. Or get him like on a flying down pose, like trying to stab him. Go for it. Just like that. I honestly think that this next comparison might be a little bit cooler. I did want to do the Baron Volgar because he's more of like a basic size Mythic Legions figure. But this next one will be cool because this would be a really cool fight right here. Give me what the hell is his name? Carpathius. Oh, no, not Carpathius. It's something else. Now I'm forgetting his name. But this big mama versus Blade. That's him versus a giant fucking vampire. Trying to take out a giant vampire. So that's an interesting little comparison that I wanted to do. So there's those two next to each other. Obviously, he's going to tower over him, but if you're going to have him fight vampires, you might as well have him fight awesomely executed vampires that have awesome sculpts and really cool armor and stuff. I think he looks good next to him. I like that. That's pretty cool. And then, like I said, if we get him, if I have like a flight stand and you get him like flying down, trying to take him out. Trying to take him out. We could also go with like him holding his leg, maybe. That's pretty cool. Some motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill. Wesley Snipes. I didn't get arrested for tax evasion. I don't know what you're talking about. They just took all my shit. What, you making this movie into a fucking iPod commercial? I don't think so. Not on my watch. Apple's the real vampire, turning my movies into iPod commercials. Mother sucker. Mother sucker. Yeah, give me a break. Why would they hire, what's his face when I'm right here? You know, Wesley Snipes had a cameo in What We Do in the Shadows. That was pretty funny. Oh, that's cool. We could use the cape for like that to get that pose going. All right. So that was Blade. Very cool. My biggest gripe with Blade is the arms. I think even because I just don't even understand why. I think that the arms are like too big. He just needs to be heated up in general. Like, it's a whole thing. It's a very cool figure though. So I do wish I had my other Blade to compare this to. I don't think it's here. I think it's still in the display. So I couldn't pull it out. And then there's him next to him again. So that was Marvel Legends Blade. So I would say that this, I think that it's a buy. I think that you can get him into poses that you want to get him into as long as you put a little bit of effort into it. It should be a little bit easier to get him into a two-handed sword pose. I do think that doing a two-handed sword pose is kind of a waste of accessories. So I would maybe go with like I like him having this little blade and his little stake here, or have him throwing a stake and then, or like trying to punch somebody. Obviously, you got two. I don't know, the fisted hands. I'm happy they gave us fisted hands, but I don't necessarily think that I needed them. But I like these accessories more than the sword because the stakes are really well executed. So my favorite accessory is the steak for sure. Delicious steak. But that is Blade right there. So it's cool. I like the cape. It gets in the way a little bit. His arms are not pinless. That's an interesting move. His legs are pinless. They are, right? Yeah, his knees are pinless. So that's the thing. So they kind of like picked and chose. The head sculpt is great. The body it's a basic, the color of the body is a basic body. I could have maybe used a little bit more paint on like his belt, because I mean it is gray. There is a gray buckle here. It doesn't stand out too much. But I guess he's trying to like stay dark so that people don't see him and so that the IRS can't find him or something like that. So he can hide in the shadows away from the IRS. Decent upgrade to the previous version. I do need to take another look at my old one. Maybe when if one of these becomes one of my personals, I'll probably do like an actual comparison. Is Blade technically a mutant? Is the question that was put out there. I would say no. I mean, is Morbius a mutant? Morbius would have been a good comparison here. Blade, Morbius, Punisher, Daredevil was a good one. A Spider-Man, stuff like that. I'm just thinking of that one animated series arc. Well, yeah, but when he was originally a baby, he was a human baby, and then his mom got bit by a vampire, right? So he was born as a half vampire, but I don't know. I wouldn't consider him a mutant personally. Then that would mean all vampires are mutants, and I don't think that they're mutants. I mean, it's a disease. I don't know. All right. On to the next one. So we have two more figures that we're gonna do. These are out of a 2-pack. So it's gonna be this Pulse exclusive Guardians of the Galaxy, Drax, and Moondragon 2-pack. Now we've never gotten Moondragon. In Marvel Legends before, at least. And this is the first comic Drax? Oh no, we've gotten a different comic Drax, a more modern comic Drax. This is a Drax that people have been waiting for, though. So really cool look to him. So I'm very excited to get these out here. So I'll bury the lead and probably do Moondragon first, and then we'll finish with Drax. Well, let's get this open. All right, that box out of here. We're gonna go with Moondragon first. So this is what they look like in here. They needed a little extra reinforcement since he's a big figure. And they're like, there's holes for the heads. See, they like cut holes for the heads. I just pull out the bottom. There's an extra bag here. This looks like Drax's accessories. And then there's another one here. I assume that's Moondragon's. All right, let's do Moondragon first. If we look at the... Hold on, let me get the box back. So Moondragon just comes with an extra set of hands. So I assume that there's Moondragon hands in here. Yeah, 2 hands. So they're like the magic, I'm going to do magic on you hands. If you believe in magic, then look at my hands, and I'll do magic with them, and you'll know what it is. Alright, so now I'll pull her out of here. Nothing else in there. No. Okay, so just the 2 extra hands. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to say that this face sculpt looks really good. Look at that. That's nice. The eyebrow up looks really good. Her earrings are pretty cool. Get a little light on those. But I like the look of that face sculpt. She's as bald as you could possibly be. She popped that collar. She got that collar popped. Okay, let's see. Here's the back of the cape. It's gonna hold. I'm wondering, is it the Watcher cape or maybe the Odin cape? Could be similar to that mold. The Odin cape was a little bit bigger than this, though, wasn't it? Her cape is glued to her tatas, so you cannot remove it without taking that off, which is fine because, I mean, why would you want her without the cape, to be honest? Unless if you're going to customize her into something else. Really like that head sculpt. She's got abs. Very faint abs, but they are there. Obviously, she got the boobage. Looks a little weird there, considering the fact that we just have like kind of a solid piece of plastic. It's like molded boobies and then a solid piece of plastic there. So it looks a little weird. I'm liking the paint though. The paint overall, it's got like nice shiny paint over here. Maybe they could have used a little bit more of that to accent like the bottom of her legs. But there's like certain places where they use that paint. So there's like, as far as her outfit goes, there's like 1, 2, 3 different types of paint here. Flip that everybody wanted to know what's going on in the trunk. There you go. Not too bad, but not too acceptable. Acceptable. All right. We can get to the articulation now. I do really like this head sculpt. When she popped out of that package and was looking at me with that eyebrow, really cool. I like that. All right, here's looking up. Here's looking down. Pretty decent on both. She could do a little head tilt for you, like bitch, all around. So decent articulation on the head. I'm happy with that. The arm, obviously, you got to work around this cape, but slides right up. You can probably go a little bit higher. So that's decent. That's acceptable. Very thin arms, but these are pinless. And we can go 1, and we can go 2. Seems like it's just single. See, 1. Technically, it's 2. But that's like as far as you're going to be able to get her arm in. There's no extra cut here besides the wrist. So it's 1, 2, 3 on the arm. All right, now the splits. Decent splits. This is clearly rubbing up against here. Acceptable. Nothing too groundbreaking here. Yeah, the Black Widow arm joints are clearly better. This did come out before that, though. There's your cut there. Here's your knee. There you go, knee. Really good knee back there. No extra cuts, once again. You got this cut. 1, 2. Technically 2, 3. Whatever. 1, 2. And then your feet. All right, let's get her to just stand. Because she has this big cape. So the cape does not touch the ground. So how much effort does it take to just get her to stand? Let's get her a little bit wider. A little bit wider. And there. Yep. Takes a little bit of effort to get her to stand here. Taking a little bit of effort to get her to stand. More effort than you would want it to take, for sure. This cape really does weigh her down. It wants to pull her back. So let's get her more into a down magic-y pose, I guess, so that we can use the cape. And then that's your benefit of having her be able to look up like that. I think you're going to want to use the cape to kind of keep her standing. Or, like I said, get her on a flight stand. All right, let's check out these other hands. Magic hands. You got magic hands. Lieutenant Day, you got magic hands. Lieutenant Moondragon. No effect either. Could have used a little... give me, even if it was the stupid effect they always give us. But once you get her set up, she looks good. I like the look of that. You can't really tell how much you're using the cape for that. The good thing about them gluing the cape in is that when you do something like that, it doesn't push up. Because if it wasn't glued in the way that we have this standing right now, it would be pushing up to her chin, and it's a whole thing. So overall, I think she's a decent figure. I just think that the face sculpt really makes it. The cape looks good. You just have to put a little bit of effort into getting her into a standing pose. Probably a figure that requires a flight stand to do cool stuff with. I would have liked, since this is a 2-pack, technically a deluxe 2-pack, I would have liked for us to get some magic effects with her. But overall, a cool figure with a decent sculpt. There she is next to Blade as well. We'll do the comparison to Drax when we get to Drax. All right, I think it's main event time, and we can get to Mr. Drax. So decent. I'm happy with Moondragon. I think that I want one for one of my displays. I could see her going in my Galactus display. That'd be nice. So, and once again, guys, just a reminder that Moondragon is not sold. She is still available for anybody that wants her. So, just putting that out there. The Drax is sold, though. So, sorry about that. Sorry to break all your hearts. And we will take a look at him. Now, he has an extra head sculpt and 2 extra hands. Oh, yeah, having a comic Thanos would have been a good idea. And he is a fucking beast. Holy shit. All right, here's Drax. That is so cool, man. That is really good looking. You are so good looking. Is he Hulk scale? Another thing that I could have set up a Hulk for you guys to compare this to. I don't think that I have a Hulk. I have a thing. I can show you thing. That thing, that thing, that thing. I'll show him next to the thing. Here's the thing. That's him next to the thing. So much taller than him. I mean, he's a little bit crouched, but there you go. All right, we'll leave him out here in case we want to do more of a comparison. All right, let's take a look at his accessories now. This is really nice. I love this fucking figure. This looks so good. They literally should have just made this a Build-A-Figure. All right, here's his alternate head. Little bit of paint issues on his teeth there. Yeah, the green really pops. It's such a neon green. There's a little extra light for you. So there's the screaming head sculpt, and then he's got the grabby hand and not so grabby hand, I guess we'll call it. I mean, are these the same hand? No, one's slightly bigger than the other. He comes with the two fisted hands. We can do a head swap as well. All right, so articulation wise, oh, this is so cool. All right, here's him looking up. Oh, his head came right off. Oh boy, there goes his head. Oh boy. All right, let's pop that right off. That head really came right off. All right, there you go. So be careful when you look his head up because his head will pop off. But there's him looking up. You can get him looking down, but obviously he has the skull here, so it's kind of like don't let it get in the way of that type deal. You can do kind of a sideways looking head. Obviously, you can spin it and all that stuff. So decent. This skull is getting in the way a little bit, and there's not really anywhere else to put that. You can't really shift it too much. Like this cape can come off. So let's see if we'll do the head swap too right now. So if we take this off, which I wouldn't really necessarily want to leave that off, but if you want to take it off and put his other head on, and then here's your look up like that, and then here's your look down like that. So that's like what he's actually capable of doing. But let's get the cape back on because this is the way you're going to display him. I don't know. You wouldn't display him without the cape on. All right. I will say the head swap works nice and easily. Here's his shoulders. So they're big, so you're not going to get too far up there. But I mean, how far up do you really need to go with that? He has a cut here, so he has like a one between his bicep and that ball joint there. You can go forward and back. You can go like a little slam. Like I can go and slam some shit right there. Elbow. I'm gonna go just like that. There's not an extra cut there. Obviously, we got pins here. He can do a judo chop. This above the oh no, it's just that the gauntlet spins. The gauntlet spins, so that's not an actual articulation. And then here's the wrist. The gauntlet doesn't really. The gauntlet is a very pliable plastic, so it's not getting in the way of doing his wrist articulation there. So, and then there's that. All right, the chest. So we can go back. Let's see. We can go back that far. So if you want to do a little hula with him, you can. Do a little bit of hula with him. Forward is down to his little wrestling belt. Then that gets in the way. More flexible back muscles than most of us have. Here's the splits, which I forgot to do the other way for those. Oh, look at that. The splits leg came off. Pop that back on. Because this is clearly Build-A-Figure pieces, so that's the type of thing that will happen with those. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But there's your splits there. Obviously got that rotation there. Here, oh, Jesus Christ. Wow, that leg wants to pop off. You see that thing fly off? Okay. Here's the kick forward. Let me do it with the other leg. There you go. Here's your kick forward. Here's your kick back. You're kind of getting off to the side there, though, the way that that's cut. And then here's the knees. Really big pegs in those knees. But he can kick like all the way back with his knees. Joba amputating with fun since 2023. So decent knees there. And that's really like a satisfying, like you can hear them click, you know? And so I'm not like, Jesus, man. It's crazy. All right. Is there a boot cut here? It seems like there wants to be a boot cut. I'm going to say no. Let's get in there. You have like a little bit of something there, but I wouldn't force it. Here's the ankles. All right, so there's your articulation. So decent articulation. Clearly we're dealing with a Build-A-Figure here. In a big figure, so you can't expect too much, but they really nailed the sculpt on this. You know, them being able to reuse parts. I will say that we have a couple different shades of purple going on here. So his chest, his shoulders, and anywhere that there's like a more solid, oh, not his arms, this solid piece and his crotcheroo over there have a different purple than like his legs, which is the more softer plastic. But I do feel like they nailed the shoulder to the chest because this is kind of that same. I mean, I guess this piece is different. They clearly needed to use different color paints, or the paint came out differently on different pieces of the figure. Like, let's see. Let me see the head. Here's the head. The head with the chest. Slightly different, right? But then the head with these legs down here seems to match more. Can't be Drax if it's not Dave Bautista. Okay, so yeah, really cool. Oh, we didn't look at the back either. Here's the back. He's got no ass. But really, wow. Just both of these figures, when you pull them out of that package and you see the head sculpts, very impressive. Very impressive. Moondragon has an awesome head sculpt too. I will not sleep on that figure. So this is a really nice 2-pack. Like I said, I could have used some more accessories for her, but we did get decent accessories for him. Let's do a hand swap here. All right, that popped right off. And like you said, the gauntlets can come off, so I'll show you the hand. Where are the other hands? So there's one side with and one side without. I mean, I'm going with the gauntlets. I want the gauntlets on him, but just so you can see what it looks like with one on and one off. So maybe go with like a little. Ooh, this one. Oh no, it needed it. Okay. There you go. Going to give dabs. Give me the other one. Come on, get in there. Oh, that's interesting. Pop that up. Oh, his hand is like. There's a different articulation point on this hand. Very interesting. So it's kind of like what they do with G.I. Joe. So it's gonna go like that instead. It's probably maybe if you can hold like Cosmic Cube or something like that. Yeah, vertical. So there he is like that. Let's get him like trying to hold the figure up. Give me Matt Murdock. Give me his arm. That. And the lift. Can we get this solid enough that he'll stand while holding him? Ankle's a little loose. Clearly he's dealing with a lot of weight here. Let's fall that way. Okay, there's him holding another figure up. So you can do it. All right, cool. And then we'll just do fire off some comparisons here. So obviously there's him next to these two. The other two figures we reviewed tonight. Come on, Blade, you know you want to stand. I would be slightly worried about his ankles getting loose over time under the weight of him because he is a very heavy figure. There he is next to the figure he's backed him with. And Blade. Here he is next to Thing again. That thing, that thing, that thing. Him, Moondragon, and Thing. I guess we might as well show him next to this big Mythic Legion over here. Why the hell not? Well, I'll just swap this out. Big old Mythic Legion. So look, we were talking about how big the Mythic Legion was compared to Blade, but look how big Drax is with him. He's not, obviously that's a very big figure, but he's holding his own in that department. He's only like a head's length above him. So that's cool. Yes, this is Moondragon. They came in a 2-pack together. All right, cool. So there you go. Let's get Blade back over here. And there's everybody all together. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that these are all in the same line. Let's back them up a little bit. And these two are kind of using their capes to hold themselves up. All right, let's get a little picture of everybody together for a thumbnail. And then we'll choose who we like best. In the chat, what are you guys thinking? Who's your favorite of these three? I mean, I assume that Moondragon will be the least favorite. Not because she's bad, but because the other two figures are so cool. But I would love to know what people's thoughts are on these three figures. Drax and Blade, I bought them. Let me get a good picture here. Hold on. Just off this side. How about that? How about that? All right, cool. Got that. All right. So as far as our favorites here, I will pick my favorites. I do like the Moondragon. Kind of hard to stand. Nice cape, nice earrings, great head sculpt, weird boobs, as we covered. Cool overall. Decent paint. Needed more accessories. They clearly gave the accessories to Drax in that set. So she's number 3. Number 2, I'm going to give to Blade. Blade has great accessories. He has issues with his arms. He's going to need to be heated up. He needs a little bit of love and care to make him the best figure he could possibly be. But overall, a good figure. And I mean, I would like to do a comparison to the older Blade figure. I don't remember having that much issues getting him in a two-handed sword pose. But overall, a cool figure. Definitely a buy, especially if you don't have a Blade yet. Oh yeah, we've made our tax evasion jokes many a time, Rich, on this one. And then obviously number 1 with a bullet is Drax. I mean, this is just awesome. It's great reuse of Build-A-Figure stuff. The only gripes, I mean, the skull on his cape does get in the way. So if you want to do like a looking down pose, that's kind of a thing. But I mean, whatever. That's not the end of the world. Him bending forward, his little wrestling belt kind of gets in the way there. But I mean, not really a big deal. Let's get these guys in here to get everybody on screen. What are the gripes? I am slightly worried about his ankles because it's so much weight. He's so tall, and I think that, I don't know if it's just that this one's ankles were a little bit loose. You might want to spray some of the like Kiki Fix in there just to make sure that they stay in place, or just get him in that right pose. But I feel like, even if you put him like on a stand, he's gonna wobble a little bit. So that's the thing. But I mean, overall, he's an awesome figure. I'm happy with him. So he's definitely, I mean, probably, I would say it's got to be one of the best figures released this year, even though it's a lot of reuse. But the face sculpt is amazing. The neon green paint with the purple is really nice. Like I said earlier, depending on which part of the figure, the purple can be different. I think it's only noticeable in certain light. And if once you get them on a shelf, you're not really going to think about it. But yeah, really cool. So I would say if you guys are after the Moondragon and Drax 2-pack, definitely worth grabbing. If you're after the Blade, and I think that this is the thing, is that it's a good 2-pack because both of the figures are worth owning. Obviously, you're buying the 2-pack because you like the Drax most. There are some people that are buying it for the Moondragon because we haven't gotten Moondragon yet. But this is the best comic Drax we've gotten. Oh, and then also he has that head sculpt again. This is the best comic Drax we've gotten, clearly. And then we've never gotten Moondragon in Marvel Legends. So it's a good 2-pack to get because both figures are worth having. And then for the Blade I'm happy with. It's definitely a buy. especially if you don't have one yet. I think I'm kind of repeating myself now. So overall, good stuff. So thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. That was the review of the Marvel Legends, Marvel Knights Blade from the Mindless One. Ooh, Mindless One Build-A-Figure wave. And then the Drax and Moondragon Pulse exclusive 2-pack. So if anybody's after any figures, this is Joba the Hut from Joba's Palace. We're currently live on Whatnot. We archive everything on YouTube. Feel free to give us a follow on Whatnot, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on eBay, on plenty of places. If you're after any figures, feel free to shoot us a DM on any of those platforms, and we can try to figure out, what you're after. If we have it, try to track down stuff for you. We do TikTok all the time as well. We've been putting some TikTok videos up lately. We put a really funny Blade video up. I'll show you guys. This can be part of the review. I'll show you the TikTok. So this is how we announced that Blade was in stock at Joba's Palace. Now, let me get the sound up so we don't have to watch it multiple times. All right, here we go.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
So just use CapCut to make that little preview video. We do have one more Blade in stock, by the way, guys. So keep that in mind. And Moondragon is for sale, guys. So anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Like I said, our order here is Drax, then Blade, then Moondragon, in that order. But all of them are figures worth having. Yeah, so thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys. We're going to be trying to get more reviews like this to you guys whenever we have the opportunity. So once again, guys, thanks everybody for hanging out. And remember to run, don't walk, to all the Joba's Palace socials and give us a follow there. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Peace out.